Hey everybody, I'm here with Jeff Rader, the co-founder and co-CEO of Harry's. Jeff, thanks for joining us.
Steve, thanks for having me.
Let's take it all the way back home. Where'd you grow up and kind of what were you into as a kid?
I grew up outside of Boston. As a kid, I was into sports. I like to learn. Actually, I really was interested in just learning about new things in the world. I like spending time with other people. I'm a really deeply extroverted person. I think I found that out about myself earlier on. And so if I was doing something new, maybe it was a little active and I was with a bunch of people, I was generally pretty happy.
In high school, do you have any idea of what you wanted to be when you grew up, whether it was a job or an industry or just?
Yeah. I did not want to be an entrepreneur. So my mom started a company and was an entrepreneur, single mom. And I watched her go through just what it's like to build a business and run a business. I was like, I'm never doing that. That seems so hard. Who would want to do that as their job?
What did she do? What would she do? What was the
She
business?
ran a loyalty marketing business. So the loyalty cards you used to get at the supermarket, or you still get at the supermarket or at CVS or at Target or whatever. So she would make those cards, and then her company would help to build all the loyalty programs. If Steve bought a Twinkie, then he should also get a Hostess cupcake or something.
That's my kind of company.
I know, exactly. So that was her company, and I literally watched her have to build the company and see the highs and the lows. I was like, this just seems hard. So I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I should be a normal job, a stable job.
Yeah, you're I won't be an entrepreneur and I won't be into consumer-facing retail.
Right.
And that's exactly what you were.
Yeah, exactly.
How'd that happen? Take me on that one.
I worked at Bain & Company, which is an amazing place, and then at a private equity fund called Charles Bank, which is an amazing place. And then I went to business school, and I was sitting around after class one day, and one of my friends said, what do you think of the idea of selling glasses online? And at the time I had a $500 pair of glasses. My prescription had changed multiple times, but I hadn't changed my glasses because I was a student, and it was really expensive. And I was like, I would love a pair of new glasses that I really liked, that were affordable, from a brand that I believed in. And one of my other friends, had worked in the eyewear industry and said, we could make those, it's possible. And I couldn't sleep that night. I emailed those guys I was talking to at 1 a.m. and said, we should do this. And that became Warby Parker.
Early on, you were at Warby Parker, but then you left, correct?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I didn't really have time to be introspective, to think about what it was all happening so fast. I always was going to go back and work in investing. And so I did that after school, but I stayed really closely involved at Warby Parker. I'm still on the board at Warby Parker. And early on, after I graduated, I spent a lot of time at Warby Parker on nights and weekends. And I love my co-founders, and I was trying to do as much as I could to support them. And I think that experience, working in investing and doing entrepreneurship, I think finally convinced me that actually what I really did want to do is go start a company and do something that I thought had a ton of meaning in the world. One of my close friends, whose name's Andy, had a really bad experience in a drugstore one day buying razor blades. He was overcharged for the blades and the brands didn't connect with him. And he called me and he said, could you take what you learned at Warby Parker and do it better here? And I sat back in my chair and I was like, yep, we could. And then off we went to go build Harry's, which has been an amazing journey.
Looking back in everything you've done at Harry's and Warby and you name it, what advice would you give? What are your top tips if someone is saying, I want to quit my investment job or quit my corporate job or quit college or just finish college and be an entrepreneur? What would or be a leader or a CEO? What have you learned?
You got to go all in. This is not a halftime, maybe I'll try it type of thing. When you jump in with both feet and go. And I think it's okay to actually take some time and think about, am I ready to jump in? And then do it at a time when you are just so obsessed about the idea that it becomes all consuming. I think I was probably one of the most annoying people on the planet to talk to at the beginning of Harry's and Warby Parker, because all I was asking people was oh, you've got glasses. What kind of glasses do you have? Then talk to me about them. When did you get them? How did you think about you? Or in Harry's, I was you shave? Steve, you shaved today. What products did you use? Tell me about them. I want to learn everything I can about this. But I was so obsessed with the companies and those ideas that that's all I wanted to think about or talk about. I would leave social events and go work on business plans. It was that all consumed. I couldn't sleep at night. And so I think if that's the case and you feel that obsessed and excited about it, then it's gonna lead to you figuring out how to creatively problem solve across the 1,000 sets of problems that exist to find the right spot for your business.